You know, they still have Iraq. What is Iraq going to do now? Who's Iraq's best friend? Iran. Their whole future and history is tied together now. So U.S. troops in Iraq will be attacked. What about Afghanistan? They get the student. You know, they've been in Afghanistan 17 or 18 years. Do you know Mazar Sharif and all those areas are Shia areas, the Northern Alliance? What is Afghanistan going to do? So the United States will not be fighting in the Persian Gulf. They will be fighting the whole Asian experience. That's who they'll be fighting. And they're the ones better go in a corner and sit around and shut up, because the people are already ready for martyrdom. You didn't push them too far. They ain't going for it. And you can see they say, what's right? We don't want to fight nobody, but we ain't taking no more. That's it. And they mean it. And Don ain't in no hurry, because somebody, let's bring in Don Netanyahu. How did America get in this position? Psychological guerrilla warfare. The first stages began in earnest over 10 years ago. And at that time, what we had to do, we looked at our options here in America. And one of the only options open to us and our strengths was psychological guerrilla warfare. We developed psychological guerrilla warfare for two realities. Number one, our reality, and number two, their reality. If you remember, we had programs 2007 about advocates for the Islamic Republic of Iran. I don't know if you ever saw it. But in other words, we looked at the situation in America. We looked at the situation around the world. We saw in South Africa that we had just came out with our writings on strategy and strategic management. And some of the people of influence, I'm not going to say from Iran, like the ambassadors, was telling the movement that that's what they should be doing, that type of thing. So I turned around right there when he was talking. Muhammad al-Assi, his wife, Zafar Bangash. So why y'all ain't telling him that that's what we're already doing? And the next day, I told him, you got to take me to a meeting. So I went to a meeting at the ambassador's house to show him strategic management under conditions of repression. What the hell do? You don't sit around and cry about you're oppressed. You figure out, you have to have a counteroffensive. You have to have a long-range strategy. Our strategy has always been, it's the same with what we did to the Negroes. By the way, now you will realize when I tell you that we engineered this whole thing with the Islamic Republic of Iran. I want to go over it again because your mind is not going to pick it up. The Negrocious the Great, engineered what's going on in Iran now. He studied the ambassadors. He studied, I'll give you two examples. Like say the foreign minister right now. He's a good friend of mine. But I was with him and the Americans had unscrewed his back tire because it won't make much noise or anything, and it came off. He said, I was on the freeway. If I would have had my family with me, they would have got hurt. So he was putting his family first. The head of the office downtown, 8 or 9 years ago, said the same thing about his family. The Americans took my back wheel off too. And when it came off, I was pulling up to a stop and I saw a wheel catch up to me and pass me. I just got out, picked it up, and put it back on. I took one lug off each one of the other 3 tires and put them on so each one of them had 3 lugs, because this is a small car, I had 4 of them. So I went on about my business like this is normal. Okay? But my feeling was this then and now. If you do not think about the Islamic Republic first, you're not qualified to hold any office, because you put your family and you put yourself before the rebellion, before the revolution. I found that to be a common trend. With basically, everybody's going to think about their family first unless they're revolutionary. You can't do that. You got to either get out or go somewhere else, because the revolution is first. If you say, my kids, well, then all you got to do is sign your kids over to the government, because they're going to study what you fear, what you dislike. Is that right? And that's who they're going to attack. You're putting your children in jeopardy, right? Or you have to cooperate with the system. I studied that all over. Everywhere I went, I studied it in Sri Lanka. I studied our allies. I studied the Shia community as a whole. I studied all of our brothers. I studied their attitudes. I went to all the conferences up to a few years ago. I spoke at most of them, if not all of them. So along with psychological guerrilla warfare worked for us in America. Psychological guerrilla warfare worked for us with Iran. Here's what we did. If we left it up to those guys, they were going to engineer Iran into a subservient position, like the foreign ministry, those guys. They're nice people, but they don't have they don't understand that Iran's mission is not to have just a great economy. That's part of the model. But they are, Iran, I believe, came on the scene to be a model of revolutionary change and evolutionary change in the world in which we live in. And if, just like people will steal your mission away from you, if we would have sat still, the middle-level management, now high-level management, would have listened to their nafs and developed programs based on economy and what have you. That's where the JOCPO came from Obama. Obama first tried to, he challenged Iran when he came, but then he saw what was happening. He said, okay, we can't challenge it, we can't get them this way. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to sweet talk them. We're going to get a J-O-P-C somewhere else. What they call it. Now, here's the easier part. Who would be against that type of treaty with Iran? Bibi Netanyahu, the Israelis. Because Iran is working at breakneck speed. They've already fought the student in Lebanon. And they cleaned the Israelis' clock. So Iran. Israelis don't want to fight Iran. So they have to put the Americans up to it. You see what I mean? Now, here comes Saudi Arabia. They have the same problem. They are a big bunch of weakly fat guys that they can't do any fighting. They've been fighting for 5 years, 4 years, and they can't get down the street. With the poorest country in the Arab world. And they got all the modern, the U.S. is giving them or selling them all kind of modern stuff, and they can't do nothing. Now, is this true or not? Number one, did Bibi Netanyahu come over here during the 2010s and speak before the Congress, and he got more standing ovations than Barack Obama did? Did Bibi Netanyahu come back the next year and almost, this is what I heard, I wasn't down there, but the guy that's the mayor of Chicago, I think his name is Zionist. He was in Barack Obama's first cabinet. At the White House, they had a meeting with the Jews, and they told Barack Obama, you can come back when we finish. They told him, you come back when we finish. And he did. When he didn't cooperate, the security forces of the United States of America couldn't happen without them. Like as much as people hate Donald Trump, ain't nobody jumped over the fence and went up in there with Donald Trump, right? He happened twice. Do you remember that?
I remember, yeah.
One time they said, I know it ain't true, that the guy got on the elevator with a gun. What is that to do? That's to let Barack Obama know your family is here, everybody's here. Barack didn't totally cave, but that happened. That actually happened. So Barack Obama was told by the security forces of America, you have to collaborate with us. Do y'all remember at the UN about 5 years ago or less, Netanyahu had, remember them old fuse bombs where they got a bomb and you light the fuse on the top of black men? And this is what Netanyahu took a picture of to the UN. Always talking about Iran. Always talking about Iran. What I'm talking about now is taking this a step higher. Open with it, and I'm going to close with it. This program is called Negrocious Degree.
Negrocious degree?
Degree.
Degree.
Negrocious Degree not only engineered this right here. If I could have to go through the one thing. Everything you see right now was engineered by Negrocious Degree. Let's just go and visit. What is it that they have like the Israelis? arrogance. Suppose every other time you get up, yeah, old Hezbollah came over there and whooped your behind. Boy, they slapped the stuff out of you. Why do you know that? You know this because in 2007, the Zionists, when they had the program up in New York with, what's his name, the white man? Hannon, yeah. What was this whole thing? Do you like Jews? Why you don't like Jews? I said, Jews? Well, I just met the rabbi the other day, you know. And remember when the rabbi came here, this last year or something, they all said, this is our friend. That's what they said. And everybody, it's on tape. Everybody can see, this is our friend. Well, it's not about Jews. It's about Zionists. What do you have in relation to the United States of America and the whole of the governments that they control? You would say one of two things, but what do you have that they don't know nothing about? Coonism, clowning. They won't even know what you're doing. They'll be mad and frustrated, and they'll act off of being clowned and irritated by Negrocious. So what does Negrocious do to all of them? To the great United States of America? Clown them, make fun of them all the time. So pretty soon, they began to develop, well, it's easy to know because if you study 15 years ago, 20, everything that they had Zionists coming amongst us, taking pictures and then posting the pictures up on, that we said this and we said that, we let them do it. With the Americans, remember we said we did this the other night. We took all of our notebooks to Iran. When we came back, they were there for them to read. To make sure they read them, once they asked me a question about a meeting that I brought them to Iran Times so they could read it. But I said, just a minute. Do you know I went over to my notebooks and I thumbed through it? It's literature. And it says, I said, no, this is on such and such a date. And I told them everything we did. Why would we do that? The strategy in war is to keep secrets. Right? Not to publicize. But in coonery and clownism, we done took psychological guerrilla warfare to another level. We're going to tell them everything. And what we tell them is going to scare them to death. Those articles in the newspapers don't seem like nothing to the average guy. But what does that mean? Especially, not just articles like this or TV programs, but every time you're talking to them, first I would like to congratulate the people of the Islamic Republic of Iran on 34 years of struggle. I think this was 6 years ago. 34 years of sincerity, 34 years of following good leadership, 34 years of, and then I go, as I remember, once we celebrated the 3rd anniversary of the revolution, how happy we was. And here we are celebrating the 34th anniversary. Stable. Iran is here to stay. That's what it looks like. But we have seen the Negro give away his birthright here. Zarif and those other people will give away Iran's birthright. In this world, there's a new world. We see this is the coming of a new world. And we've been discussing when is this going to be the last, when is it going to be? This is it right now. This is it. This is it to bring all the stuff in, hold it. No, let's call it in. This is the time to shake up the whole world and put it in focus. The first thing we want the American people to know is that everything that these dummies are doing in Washington, D.C. was engineered by us. And we're going to show you how. It was engineered by us because of many reasons. Number one, we have to make sure that the mission of the Islamic revolution is not subverted and not sabotaged. It is to be the leader of the incoming new global reality, or to play a major part in it. When that treaty came in, it looked a little funny for a while. But thank God, guess what they did? The Israelis, the neocons, white folks, the common Democrats, they said, we're surrounded and finished if we don't move now. China has got us surrounded. We got to move on them now. We got to. You want to know why Donald Trump moved on everybody at one time? He was hired to do that. That's his job. He was hired to do that. Iran canceled the treaty, canceled everything, but he turned, and the other people didn't answer. The Russians, the Chinamen, right? None of the people followed. They the JOPCO, whoever, they haven't followed their part. Not only the United States had a part. And I told you, keep scratching the shears. In a minute, you're going to hit blood, and then it's all over. Martyrdom is in. That attack today showed where Iran is. Now, again, either I'm lucky, because everything I'm saying now, I said this the last 2 meetings. It ain't nothing new, except we had to come out the last 2 meetings.
No, the attack. You mean what?
The attack on the drone.
Oh, okay. You mean bringing it down?
Bringing it down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, none of the other attacks that they claim